All right, continuing the thought about the divine name in the New Testament, and I've mentioned already in video one that there's over 230 times in my estimation that it occurs, and there's many scholars that I could point you to in mainline Christianity that believe that it occurs in the meaning in multiple times. Even the New King James has 67 times that you can find it where it's quoting Old Testament passages that contain the divine name. You'll find the all cap Lord representing that, substituting. But what really blew the lid off for me, and there were times I had glimpses of illumination. I got an interlinear Bible, and that, I don't know that there was anything particular about that, but it seemed like that was first seeing Yahweh or Jehovah in the Old Testament, where the substitute is used over 6,800 times. I was meaning to ask you to pause your video and try to come up with the number, because I've had friends that have read scripture multiple times that said, oh, maybe 67 times or 60 times or whatever, had very low count, and it's not their fault. It's just, it's not a common thing. In the King James, it appears actually in the text by itself about 4 times, and then there's a few other occasions with the compound names. And so it's always the substitute all cap Lord, and or there's occasions where it's all cap God. And we'll explain some of that as we get deeper into it. But what's so amazing that most people don't aware, or they're unaware, and so it makes it hidden. It's a hidden truth, really, because we're not aware of what the words mean, and so it's so critical for us to come to that understanding. And so the first translation was the Hebrew to the Septuagint. It was made about the same time that the prohibition on speaking the divine name occurred. And so, at any rate, and we mentioned that in the first video, what blew the lid off for me was Romans chapter 10, verse 9 in the Net Bible. This is, you can go to Bible.org and find this translation there. And many of the scholars were graduates at Dallas Theological Seminary and or professors there, including Dr. Daniel Wallace, who was on the New Testament committee. And he provides this footnote at Romans chapter 10, verse 9. And it's the verse reads, because if that you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord, and he has a footnote for that. And the footnote says, or the Lord. The Greek construction, along with the quotation from Joel chapter 2, verse 32, in verse 13 of chapter 10, and he points to the LXX, in which the same Lord seems to be in view, suggests that Kyrios is to be taken as the Lord, that is Yahweh. And so that's what blew the lid off for me and began my understanding that the divine name occurs and the meaning occurs in the New Testament.